Hey, my name is Thomas Cunningham, and today I want to talk to you about Southwest Florida's watershed. In today's society, many Americans take things for granted. One of these things is water. We use it to clean, bathe, and drink. Here in our local community, years ago, a man purchased a huge heap of land that spanned across 60,000 acres. People have helped to preserve this land and keep our runoff water supply intact for readily use. I wish more people had an understanding of why they need to help preserve this land. Some of you may have asked what a watershed is. So the United States Geological Survey says a watershed is an area of land that drains all streams and rainfall to a common outlet such as an outflow of a reservoir, mouth of a bay, or any point along a stream channel. Watersheds can be a small footprint or as large as a whole state. CREW and its efforts have helped to maintain this watershed. It is a private, non-profit organization dedicated to preserving the watershed and ecosystems that enclose by the land. It was established in 1989 to help coordinate the land acquisition. So the watershed helped us, especially during Hurricane Irma. If you were here 2 or 3 years ago, if you looked outside your house, you would see water all over in the street. You literally had beachfront property. So what it does is it helps direct water flow into the Gulf and Western Everglades so that Southwest Florida residents are able to live here and not have their homes flooded. Without this, we would just be a whole swampland. This watershed helps recharge the aquifer for our water supply and helps to purify it. So what are we doing to hurt and help the watershed? Well, one, our pollution that we do right now is interfering directly. Our drinking water comes from this aquifer, which is a water table that is below the ground in between rocks and gravel. We talked about various forms of pollution such as gasoline, pesticides, mulch in your class, and is really affecting the health of the watershed and the residents here in Southwest Florida. Therefore, we need to educate more people so that they are aware of what they are doing is wrong. The watershed is also used to maximize when the snowboards are all flown down here, and that is when it's at its dry season. The impact on youth is critical as students in Southwest Florida come to visit the lands with field trips to make them aware of the importance with a fun experience. So ways in which we can keep this watershed alive is minimizing our water usage and not run the water without attending to it. We learned that other countries in the world have to travel miles upon miles in order to fill up just a small little gallon to receive water, especially when they're going to a community pump. So we are even lucky that we don't even have to do this. The watershed needs the people to be conscious of their decisions and think about the future generations so we can continue this on and on and on. In conclusion, the watershed that we are surrounded by is impacting our lives every time you turn a faucet or flush a toilet or spin the spigot around. We are so accustomed to taking so many things for granted in today's society. Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Water is the driving force of all nature." Without the watershed, we would have no driving force here. We would have no land to stand on. We couldn't physically live here like we do today. I hope I have given you all insight on CREW and the watershed down here in Southwest Florida. Thank you.